with some of the shortages at the grocery store, you may not be able to find as many vegetables or some of the things that you want. So why not consider using some of the things that you're actually throwing out without even realizing that they can be turned into food? I'm Mira Dessy. I'm the Ingredient Guru, and this is the Prepared Pantry. So I wanted to share some ideas today about things that you can do to add healthy, delicious foods to your growing habits, especially if you're looking to start a little victory garden, or you maybe don't want a victory garden, you just want to grow a few things, maybe save a little money on groceries and make sure that you have fresh food when you want it. And here are a few of my favorite top tips for that. My first one is to grow sprouts. Aren't these lovely? So these are kale sprouts, and I will say that you can sprout beans, dry beans that you buy at the grocery store. You can sprout those. These are from seeds, and these happen to be kale, as I said, but you can do radish and cauliflower and broccoli and spinach and mustard, all different kinds of seeds, greens, all different kinds of things. So there's a couple different ways to grow sprouts. If you're doing beans, they do need a little bit more time because they are a little bit thicker. If you're doing seed, actually they need about the same amount of time, but if you're they grow a little bit differently. If you're doing seeds, you do need a jar or a mat that you can grow them in so that you will be able to have them in a situation where they're getting the water that they need, they're getting the care that they need so that they can grow. It's about a 10-day life cycle to get from nothing to ready to eat for seeds. For beans, depending on how warm it is in your home, it can take anywhere from 3 to 5 days, and usually they're ready by then. One of the things that I love about doing a mat, and I'll share the link down below so you can see where to get it, is because it comes already in the little dish. Everything's all set up for me. All I do is add water, put it on the counter, and 10 days later, I've got greens that I can cut. It's a little bit difficult to see. This is a little wet, but I'm going to try and pick it up without dripping on my computer. Oh, it's very drippy. So there's, I don't think you can see. There's some cells. So I'm just going to cut one so that you can see what we get. We have these little cells that each grow one serving. And so we have, now you can see on the end, there's that one cell that I just cut. And so one of the things that I like to do, we have a delicious little bunch of greens right here. I like to cut them and throw them on top of a salad. One cell is one serving. I will throw them into dishes. There's a number of different things that you can do with them. I do tend to leave them in the tray while I'm using them. However, if I really need to start another batch quickly, I will cut all of them, put them in a jar in the refrigerator, and then start the new batch. In the fridge, they last about 5 days, 4 to 5 days, and it takes about 10 days to grow. So that's not too bad in terms of a turnaround. But there are other things that you can grow in your kitchen from scraps to get the benefit of having some delicious foods. Here's another one of my very favorite ones, onions. So these are spring onions. And if you look, I'm going to pull this one out. You can see the roots are getting very long. If you look right here, you'll see a little bit of the white paper right here. That's where I cut it. And then this is all the new growth. So when I buy spring onions at the grocery store, I make sure to leave about 2 inches of the root end at the bottom, and I put it in a little jar with water. You do have to change the water every day. Otherwise it gets very stinky and they don't grow well. It takes, a few days to grow, but generally I find that, here, let me get my biggest one out here. I find that once they get to be about 5 inches long, which is what this one is, I cut them up and use them. So this one's going in tonight's dinner. And so every day I'm using 1 or 2 of these in something that I'm making. And so if I'm using the fresh ones from the grocery store, I just cut them and tuck them in here. So that's why they're all different sizes. Or if one is ready, I'll pull from here. You can put them in dirt and then they will turn into another full onion. I just haven't done that. I'm setting up a new garden right now, so I haven't gotten to that point. And they do grow pretty well in here. I will say that it has been my experience in the glass jar that although they will re-sprout a second time, the second one is very spindly and doesn't work very well. So I generally don't tend to do that. A couple of other really fun things that you can grow from your kitchen scraps. One is carrots. This is the part you throw out anyway. You're not going to eat it. I mean, I don't. Maybe you do. But if you look really closely, you'll see there's a little roots on the end of that. So you can take this and you can put it in just a little bit of water, just enough to cover the roots, or you can put it in a little bit of dirt and it will actually make a plant up top. And so you will get the carrot greens. And I use those for pesto. I chop them up and throw them into a salad. I put them into soup. There's a number of different things that you can do with carrot greens. They are actually quite delicious. We're not used to eating them because normally when we buy carrots at the grocery store, we don't buy them with the greens attached. We buy them already cleaned, but they usually will still grow. So that's kind of fun. Another really fun one is celery. Same thing. This is the part you throw away. So why not turn it into something you can eat? Because it will do that. And it's a little hard to see. See if I can pull this up here. There's a little bit of a root growing right there. So again, I can take this and I can put it in a little tray with some water, or I can put it in dirt and I will get new celery growing from that. And so it's very tender and very young. So that's really delicious and really good to eat. Another thing that you can grow is lettuces. Lettuces are wonderful. And when you take the end, I do find you need at least 2 inches, but you can take this and again, put it in a little bit of water or put it in the dirt and you will get new lettuce. I have also done this, not just with lettuce, by the way, but with things like turnips. I've gotten beet greens. I have used it for chard when I've had a chard where I've had the whole bundle and I've got a root end. Anything that has a root end, I would encourage you to try to root it either in water or have a little pot that you set aside for your experiments in the garden. But these are all kitchen scraps that you're throwing out that actually can be used to make fresh food, to add to what you have available to eat in your home and save a little bit of money at the grocery store. So that is your tip for today. I will put the links down below. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And I also encourage you to share this information so that we can all make fun foods from scraps at home. Thanks for joining me, folks. Take care. Bye.